Have you ever thought about what it truly means to defend yourself? It's a question that might bring images of fists and feet flying, of grueling grappling, and the harsh clash of combat. But is that all there is to self-defense? Far from it. Self-defense, in its truest sense, is a complex tapestry woven from threads of awareness, avoidance, de-escalation, and yes, physical defense. It's about understanding your surroundings, about recognizing potential threats before they become actual dangers. It's about the art of evasion, of escaping situations that could escalate into violence. It's about calming the storm before it breaks, using words and actions to pacify rather than provoke. And finally, when all else fails, it's about using your body as a shield, a weapon, a last line of defense against those who mean you harm. So, are you ready to understand the broad spectrum of self-defense? Let's dive in. Imagine walking down a dark alley, headphones in, eyes glued to your phone. How safe are you really? In the realm of self-defense, awareness of your surroundings is paramount. It's a skill, an art form even, that goes beyond physical prowess or martial techniques. It's about being tuned into your environment, understanding the potential risks, and taking steps to mitigate them before they escalate into threats. Picture this. You're at a concert, swaying to the music, lost in the rhythm and the ambiance. Sounds harmless, right? But what if there's a sudden surge in the crowd or an unexpected fire breaks out? Being aware of your surroundings in such situations, the location of the exits, the mood and behavior of the crowd, can be the difference between safety and danger. Or consider this. You're walking home late at night. The streets are quiet, but you spot a shadowy figure lurking in the distance. Instead of panicking or ignoring it, you cross to the other side of the street, maintaining a safe distance. It's about making small, smart decisions based on your awareness of the environment around you. So, how can you enhance your awareness? First and foremost, unplug from your devices. While technology can be a tool for safety, it can also be a distraction. Take out your earbuds, put away your phone, and engage with the world around you. Secondly, make it a habit to scan your surroundings. Observe the people, the activities, the potential escape routes. It doesn't mean you need to be paranoid, just conscious of what's happening around you. Lastly, trust your instincts. If something feels off, it probably is. Your intuition is a powerful tool, honed by years of evolution for survival. Don't dismiss it. Remember, being aware reduces the chances of being caught off guard. It's a proactive approach to self-defense, a way to anticipate and avoid dangers, rather than reacting to them when it's too late. But awareness is just one piece of the self-defense puzzle, and there's much more to explore. So let's delve deeper into the art of self-defense. Remember, being aware reduces the chances of being caught off guard. Ever heard of the phrase, discretion is the better part of valor? It's an age-old adage that holds true to this day, particularly when it comes to self-defense. The art of avoidance is a key aspect of this. It might not sound as thrilling as a high kick or a swift jab, but let me assure you, avoidance is often the most effective self-defense strategy. Now, another aspect that we need to consider in this context is the wise and legal use of weapons. Training with these weapons can be critical for effective self-defense. It is important to reiterate that carrying a weapon in itself is not enough for personal protection. The real skill lies in knowing how to use it effectively and responsibly. This can only come from comprehensive and rigorous training. It's not about wielding a weapon to induce fear, but about understanding its power and using it effectively in situations of grave danger. The same principles apply to weapon use as to self-defense in general. It's about being prepared, being aware of your surroundings, and making smart choices. Weapon training should be seen as a tool in the self-defense toolbox, to be used judiciously and always within the confines of the law. It's crucial to understand that using a weapon isn't the first resort, but the last. Now, when we think of self-defense, we often visualize physical confrontation, but the reality is, true self-defense starts way before any physical engagement. It begins with awareness and evolves with the decision to avoid potentially dangerous situations when possible. So, what does the art of avoidance really mean? It's not about living in fear or shying away from every risk. It's about making smart choices to minimize potential threats. It's about walking on well-lit streets at night or choosing not to engage with aggressive individuals. It's about trusting your intuition when something doesn't feel right and making the decision to remove yourself from a situation before it escalates. avoidance is a proactive approach. It involves recognizing the signs of potential danger and acting accordingly. It's about understanding that the best fight is the one you never have to participate in. Consider this. Martial arts experts, those who could easily handle themselves in a fight, are often the first to advocate for avoidance. Why? Because they understand that any physical confrontation carries risks. There's always a chance of injury, and unpredictable factors can quickly turn the tide of a situation. Avoidance helps you maintain control. By avoiding a high-risk situation, you're not allowing someone else to dictate the terms of your safety. It's not about being fearful, it's about being smart and strategic. Remember, self-defense is not solely about fighting. It's a comprehensive approach to personal safety that includes awareness, avoidance, de-escalation, and only as a last resort, physical confrontation or the use of a weapon. So, the next time you find yourself in a potentially dangerous situation, remember the art of avoidance. It's not just about the punches you can throw or the weapon you carry, but also about the confrontations you can sidestep. Avoidance isn't cowardice, it's a smart self-defense strategy. What if you could stop a fight before it even starts? De-escalation. It's a word you may have heard, but not fully understood. It's a skill that can be as effective, if not more so, than any martial arts technique. At its core, de-escalation is about diffusing a tense situation without resorting to physical force. So how does one de-escalate a situation? The first step is to remain calm. Your emotions can feed into the other person's aggression, escalating the situation further. So maintain a calm, steady voice, and keep your body language open and non-threatening. Communication is key in de-escalation. Speak clearly and confidently. Use I statements to express your feelings, like "I feel threatened by your actions," rather than you statements, which can sound accusatory. Listening is just as important as speaking. Allowing the other person to vent can often diffuse their anger. Show empathy where you can and validate their feelings. This doesn't mean agreeing with them, but rather acknowledging their emotions. But what if that doesn't work? Well, then we move on to setting boundaries. Clearly state your boundaries and the consequences of crossing them. For instance, if you continue to threaten me, I will call the police. Remember, de-escalation doesn't always mean avoiding conflict altogether. Sometimes it's about reducing the intensity of the conflict, giving you time to plan your next actions or to wait for help. Lastly, don't forget about your exit strategy. Always be aware of your surroundings and know the quickest way out of a situation. If the situation escalates, get out. Your safety is paramount. De-escalation techniques are a vital part of self-defense and can often prevent situations from becoming physically violent. They require practice just like any martial art, but the payoff can be immense. As we wrap up our discussion on de-escalation, remember this: words can be more powerful than fists in the right situation. What happens when all else fails and you're left with no choice but to physically defend yourself? In such instances, having a basic understanding of physical self-defense techniques can be essential, a veritable lifeline. But remember, this should always be your last resort, used only when all other methods have failed. See, physical self-defense isn't about promoting violence. It's not about throwing punches like a professional boxer or performing high kicks like a seasoned martial artist. It's about knowing how to react in a way that could potentially save your life, or at least buy you enough time to escape. There's a common misconception that you need to be physically strong or have years of martial arts training to defend yourself effectively. That's simply not the case. Yes, strength and training can be advantageous, but the key to physical self-defense lies in the element of surprise and knowing where to strike. The most vulnerable parts of an attacker's body are usually the eyes, nose, throat, and groin. A well-aimed strike to any of these areas can incapacitate them long enough for you to get away. It's not about inflicting harm, but about creating an opportunity to escape. In addition, there are techniques such as breaking a hold or a grip that can be learned and practiced. These skills can help you free yourself if an attacker tries to restrain you. Again, the objective is not to engage in a brawl, but to create that window of opportunity to get away safely. Remember, every situation is different. It's impossible to predict exactly what you'll face, but having a general understanding of these principles can make a significant difference. In any self-defense scenario, your safety is the priority. It's not about being a hero. It's not about winning a fight. It's about doing what's necessary to survive and get out of a dangerous situation as quickly as possible. Remember, the goal of physical self-defense is to escape, not to win a fight. So, is self-defense all about fighting? Clearly not. As we've journeyed through this topic, we've discovered that self-defense is a multifaceted discipline, much more than just physical confrontations. We started with awareness, understanding that our surroundings play a critical role in our safety. The power to perceive potential threats before they materialize can often be the difference between safety and danger. Next, we explored the art of avoidance, the skill of steering clear of risky situations. There's an old saying, the best fight is the one never fought, highlighting the importance of avoidance in self-defense. Then we dove into de-escalation techniques, learning that conflicts don't always have to escalate into physical encounters. Sometimes, a few calm words can extinguish a potentially dangerous situation. Finally, we examined physical self-defense, emphasizing that it should be a last resort, only utilized when all other options have been exhausted. Mastering self-defense is not just about throwing punches. It's about being aware, avoiding danger, de-escalating conflicts, and only using physical defense as a last resort. Stay safe out there.
Let's roll! Hey! Let's be careful out.